Hi everyone, it's Heidi from Flutter by Heidi. I'm Heidi Smith, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in the United Kingdom. And today I've got another project for you using Queen Anne's lace. So this is just to show you how versatile this is. A little technique as well, it's kind of variation on the spotlight technique. And this is perfect for that because we can actually use one of our punches as well as just colouring or using a circle punch. So the stamp set itself is a photopolymer one. It's got the lovely detailed stems, and then you've got this lovely infill design to create sort of like a cloud effect of flowers, along with some super sentiments as well. So this that's the stamp set, and here's the card that I've created. This one's using Seaside Spray and soft sea foam, and you can see here what I've actually done is I've stamped it twice. So the background image is just using the detail, and then I've stamped a second time and punched, but I've coloured those flowers in and then inked up slightly as well. And then I've on one of these I actually modified it, just worked better to shorten that punch. So depending on how this one works out, I may or may not do that as well. So that's what we're working towards. I'm going to give it a go in a slightly brighter colours using Flirty Flamingo. So it's quite a strong colour, so I'll probably stamp that off to get otherwise it'll obliterate the detail behind it. I'm starting off with a card base that's 21 by 14.5 centimetres, scored at 10.5 to create a 10th-fold card base. I've then cut a frame to go on the front there, so I've cut a piece 14 by 10 and gutted at 2 centimetres, so that can go straight onto our card base. That is, if I don't get myself all gluey. So we can just pop that on the front there. And then I've got a piece of Whisper White for the front, which is 9.5 by 13.5, and that's what I'm going to do my main stamping on. And then I've got a scrap that I'm going to use to create those panels to go on the front as well. Because I'll be coming off the bottom of my card when I stamp, I'm popping it on just a piece of scrap paper just to protect your ink pad, and my soft sea foam is quite juicy, so I am kind of going to try and be gentle. I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat because it's a photopolymer stamp and it hasn't got cushioning on as with our red rubber, and so by using the Stampin' Pierce mat it just gives a bit of give, and so you get a much better impression. So rather than squashing the stamp, it just pops in, presses into the foam. So I'm just coming off to the side slightly on this one, taking it right so pretty much to the top, like so. I'm then going to actually leave space for my sentiment at the top. Then I'm going to come in with a third one on the right hand side there. So again, just adjust it slightly, just to give a bit of variety, because obviously in nature you get all sorts. And then you can always come in and pop an extra little spray on the sides there. There we go. And that just fills your card blank a little bit. I'm going to need that again in a moment, so I'm just going to pop that piece to one side, and I'm going to then create some panels. So what I want for this is I want a kind of a, I want one that's the sort of the top that's going to sit up here. I want one that's going to sit down at the bottom that covers this section here, and then I want one that's probably going to come halfway up over this one, so focusing on this flower here. So that's what I'm going to stamp now on here. So this is going to be my top one, and it is kind of more, it is a bit of guesswork really on these. So this one is for my right hand one, and then it was the bottom section I wanted for this middle one, so I'm just going to punch that from the middle here. So hopefully those will be about right. I'm going to use my floaty flamingo now to add to my flowers. Now I think first impression is going to be a bit strong. That's quite a strong colour, but I think second should be just about right. So if I stamp off before I stamp each of these, and I'm just hovering to line up over the top there, which I've singularly failed to do on that one. But because they're not exact, it really doesn't matter with these whether you're precise or not. There we go. So those look rather pretty. And now I'm going to come in and punch. So open your punch, pop that to one side. So I'm going to pop this one about like so. My second one is right sort of down at the bottom section. Oh, I might struggle with this one actually looking at it, because you can see I've actually, this might be one that I'm going to do a little bit smaller actually looking at that, I think. So I think if I punch it about like so, and then I'll come in and punch the top again in a minute. And then our other one, we wanted this right hand sort of flower, so that'll just pop that one there. So as I say, this isn't as precise as usual, so you might sort of not feel quite as comfortable, but it's great fun to have a play around with. So with this one here, all I'm doing is popping it onto a post-it note, which I'm then going to feed back in. And then I say, you just have to be a little bit more careful with this because of lining up those side pieces. But all I'm going to do is just line those up. She said I am going to line those up. There you go. Like so. There we go. Then if we bring this in, let's have a look at how those are going to look. So that one's going to fit in there. That's going to work, I think, okay. This one, I think, is going to work okay. And let's have a look, see if I've got it right. And that one is also going to work okay. Now, as you can see, when I lay those on there, they don't stand out quite as much as you might like. So it depends on personal choice, but I rather like just dipping the edges into a little bit of ink to kind of edge those sort of accentuate those edges a little bit. And you see I'm just popping them down off the card at the moment. And then we come in with our lovely dimensionals. So dimensionals, you don't have to plaster the back of these. These ones are fairly big, the postage stamp ones. So you can either use your offcuts quite easily, or you can just use a couple of dimensionals, top and bottom. Always make the most out of your dimensionals. Use every little scrap. So what have I got? I've got mini dimensionals mixed in with my big dimensionals card all over the place. Here we go, here's a sheet that needs finishing up. So I'm just going to pop one at the top, one at the bottom on each of those. Might pop diagonals on that one at the top and one at the bottom again. And now what I'm going to do is, before I put that dimension on, I'm just going to use some stamping steel to pop my card front, my card panel on. So I can just add that to the front of my card. Oh, what I haven't done is stamp my sentiment. Knew there was something missing. So, all depends whether I'm going to use the same sentiment or something different. but I'll come in and do that. What I might do is, rather than try and stamp it on here, I might actually pop it onto a separate image. So let's pop these on first. Oh, let's give it a go. It's reasonably flat. So I think probably just the best wishes. Nice and simple. Really useful sentiment. Pop it onto a block. And this is where... Oh, perfect. There we go. Probably easier using a smaller sentiment if you've got to add it on afterwards than if not. But if that hadn't quite gone right, as I say, I'd have just stamped it on a separate piece of card to cover that up. So all I'm doing now is just lining those images up to create our spotlight postage stamp card. And as I said, at the moment, if you join my team during the month of September, this is one of the stamp sets you could choose for you get for free on top of your starter kit. So, what do you think? Queen Anne's lace, pretty cards. We can pop something on the inside as well. Always nice to add a bit of extra. And again, with this, just stamp off first. And just add a little bit of interest on the side there. Okay, so pair of Queen Anne's lace cards, pretty as a picture, perfect for a summer's day, and great for whatever sentiment you might want to send. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed making this alongside me. If you haven't got the products and would like to craft along with me, pop along to my blog where you can click on the links to purchase the products. I'd be really delighted if you were to choose me as your demonstrator. And even better, if you want to join my team, we have lots of crafting fun. Give me a shout. Thanks for watching. Bye.